would like to invite you to listen to invited talk delivered by two lecturers from Primary Education Departments, Ms.PAnh and Ms.Han. The topic named Science Curriculum in Vietnamese Primary School. Welcome.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, my name is Ms.Han. I'm a lecturer of Primary Education Department, Ho Chi Minh City University of Education, and today I am Ms.Han. I'm very happy to be here to share information about science curriculum in Vietnamese primary school. Finally, I would like to explain about the name of science subject in Vietnam. Science is a general name of three subjects in Vietnam. They are natural and social science subject for grade 1 through 3, the science subject for grade 4-5, and the history and geography subject for grade 4-5. In terms of the Vietnamese science curriculum, in the 2006 curriculum, the curriculum is designed based on the content-based approach. But in the curriculum in 2018, there are a big change. The curriculum is designed based on competency-based approach, and this approach has students more opportunity to develop knowledge and skill to adapt requirements in daily life. As you can see in the screen, the total credits per year for science subject in primary school is 490 credits, which is divided into 210 credits for natural and social science subject, 240 credits for science subject, and it is the same for history and geography. Along to Vietnamese subject, foreign language subject, mathematics subject, Vietnam science subject plays an important role in the curriculum of primary education. Now, I would like to introduce about the characteristics of science curriculum. There are three main characteristics of science curriculum. Firstly, interaction. That means thanks to the process of learning science, students will expand the knowledge of nature and society. Especially the curriculum emphasizes the bridge between the nature and society. Moreover, thanks to the process of learning science, Vietnamese primary students also have chance to develop living values and living skills, which are necessary for them to solve problems and adapt to requirements of daily life. The second characteristic is subject-based learning. That means a content of curriculum is divided into different subjects which are expanded and included gradually according to grade. And the third characteristic is promoting positive student activity. Vietnamese teachers design a lot of learning activity for students in different ways by different teaching methods. Thanks to this way, students have more chance, more place, and have more ability to absorb their knowledge and develop multiple intelligence. In terms of the objective of science education in Vietnamese primary school, the most important objective is helping students develop scientific literacy. That means students have chance to expand scientific awareness, develop science process skill, and apply knowledge and skill to solve problems. And the most important is have students have the love for learning science, and this is the most important. Now I will talk about the details of curriculum of science education. As you can see in the screen, this is a mind map about the detailed curriculum of natural and social science subject and the science subject for grade 4 and 5. In terms of the curriculum of natural and social science subject, there are 6 topics, and you can see there are 2 topics that are taught from grade 1 to grade 5. They are plants and animals, human beings and health, There are some topics just talk from grade 1 to grade 3, and some topics talk from grade 4 and grade 5, such as the topic named family, school, community, the sky, and the earth. Just talk from grade 1 to grade 3, and the knowledge in this topic is the basic foundation and really necessary for students to study other topics from grade 4 and grade 5. Move to the curriculum of history and geography subject. In this subject, students will study 3 topics: regions in Vietnam, and the world. In terms of the regions in Vietnam, students will study about 3 regions in Vietnam, and in every region, students will study about nature, culture, resident and production activities, historical figures and events. About Vietnam, students will know about general things of Vietnam, for example, nature and people. Moreover, students also have time to explore about the First Nation of Vietnam, such as Văn Lang, Âu Lạc, and what's more, they are also have chance to understand more about the process of building and protecting country. Around the world, this is the big change of curriculum between the 2006 and 2018. In detail, students will study about the neighbor countries of Vietnam, discovering the world and join hands to build the world. As you see, apart from 3 main characteristics of science curriculum, the curriculum of history and geography also have 2 more characteristics. Firstly, history knowledge and geography knowledge are integrated to teaching. Moreover, this knowledge does not follow the chronological order. We just choose only typical events, historical figures of the regions, nations, and some historical periods. About science textbook, I would like to introduce about science textbook because there is a special of Vietnam in comparison to other countries. Different from other countries, Vietnam just has 1 set of textbook for all regions in Vietnam. And the set of textbook includes 7 textbooks, which is divided into 3 groups. Group 1 is 3 textbooks for natural and social science subject. Group 2 is the 2 textbooks for science subject, and Group 3 is the 2 textbooks for history and geography subject. When it comes to the method used in teaching science in primary school, depend on the content and depend on the level of student. Our teacher will choose appropriate teaching method to help students can gain knowledge and expand their scientific process skill and other skill. Especially in teaching science, our teacher loves to use inquiry-based learning method. For example, hands-on teaching method or investigating method and something like that. And as you know, every method has the specific advantages, and our teacher will combine different methods in one lesson to help students develop different skills. For example, the observation method will develop observation skill, and storytelling method will develop student language skill and other. And on this skill will help students to develop scientific literacy. Being a student in Vietnamese in primary education department, what did you study? Student in primary education department. How can you share with our friends about what did you study in our primary education department? What did you study to become a science teacher in primary school? Okay, maybe they are shy, so I will help them to share about it. Being a student studying in primary education department, we have students to gain more about knowledge about this course like basic natural science and basic social science. This course help students has the basic foundation about nature and society, which is very necessary for them to teach science in the future. Moreover, related to the teaching method, they also learn some courses such as theory and methodology of natural and social science teaching and STEM education in primary education. And thanks to this course, they have the competency to teaching science in primary school. For example, our students do some experiment. Moreover, they also join in the activity named escape room. In this activity, they try to answer some questions and do some experiments to find the key to escape the room. And this is one of the form of STEM education. Moreover, our students also try to tell the story, and you can see in this picture, our students try to tell about the production of frogs. And moreover, they also try to write diary about learning activity. Thanks to this activity, they can know more and guide students in the future. They also run a workshop about theory of teaching science and in primary school and build science dictionary. This activity help them understand more about the science curriculum in primary school. I have one question for you. Do you want to know about a day of primary teacher in Vietnam? No, of course. Thank you very much for your answer. And now Ms.Han will share with you about a day of primary teacher in Vietnam. Okay.
In your opinion, what do primary teachers do in one working day? This is a picture of teacher in primary school. We have to teach many different kinds of subjects, such as mathematics, language, music, and art, and so on. And science is one of the subjects in primary. Every week we teach science for 3 hours. It means that we just have 3 hours to inspire students the love of science. So how do we teach science? Normally there are two methods that teach science, inside the class and outside the class. What do we do inside the class? In general, we follow 3 steps to teach a science lesson. Step 1, warm up and review previous lesson. Step 2, start a new lesson. And step 3, consolidate. The goal of step 1, review previous lesson, introduce context of new lesson, motivate students and get attention. We use various activities such as play a game, tell a story, watch a video or picture, and sing a song, more and more. After that, we move to step 2. Teachers have to give a new lesson, organize learning activities, lead learning activities of students. We also manage the class. In primary school, we try to let students develop skills, teamwork, communication, self-learning. Here is the result of teamwork. Design the solar system, do science experiments, explore the living things by observing the leaves. Students also use real materials to learn about food. Finally, we conclude our lesson. Students could write a report, present the result in table, class, or answer an open question. Now, science teachers has to work as a designer, engineer. It means that we make learning materials, design the science modules, create new teaching tools, and make a map. He is the picture of water filtering system, Battle of Padang, natural activities inside the class. How about outside the class? We usually teach biology in the schoolyard or garden. Students observe naturally many different kinds of animals and plants. So the seeds, raw leaves. Besides learning at school, students also go to botanical gardens, farms or parks, so on. Let's watch a video clip about students go to Saigon Zoo and botanical garden. Looking at students' eyes, you can see their interest. We give them handouts or tasks before. They're drawing the life cycle of butterflies. Listen to the instruction and give the handouts in person or in group.
No sound, but we catch the pictures, the face, yes, the smiling face. They are very funny, they're very happy. Yes, they observe the river, small river. Yes.
They again gather to a circle and choose the picture, right picture, and you can see how fun are they. Students also go to the farm and become farmers in one day. And each primary teacher try to create more and more interesting activities for students, for all love for children. We hope and make it feel that
every day in school is a happy day. We just share information about science education, science curriculum in Vietnamese primary school. Thank you for your listening. Now, do you have any question? Feel free to ask.
You can share your opinions about this presentation. Your idea or opinion.
Not question, just what I learned about like the interesting part, like when you explain about section of science, when they become a fifth and sixth grade, they learn about history and geography, I think, because in here, like the science subject, they also learn about history. It's for me like really interesting, because like we have in Korea, history is separate from the science. Of course, like in science, we talk about science history, but like maybe I don't know if history about like the maybe Vietnam history. I don't know. So it's for me like the look like kind of combination subject. So make the students more having creative thinking. So that's what like for me really interesting. Thank you.
If there is no more questions, so now thank you very much for your presentation. And now we have a short break for 10 minutes. And after the break time, we will move to the group mission. And please move to room B101 for the group mission. I will say it again. Move to room B101 for the group mission and see you after 10 minutes. Thank you.